Ladies and gentlemen, this just in. Eric and Lyle Menendez have been arrested for charges of first degree murder in the connection to the murders of Mary Kitty Menendez and Jose Menendez. Brothers Eric and Lyle Menendez were taken into custody by law enforcement after investigators determined they were the alleged perpetrators in the murders of their own parents, commonly referred to as parricide. Lyle, 21 years old, and Eric, 18 years old, were arrested 3 days apart after a recorded confession seized by police made them the prime suspects in the homicides. Family and members of the Beverly Hills community are shocked by the accusations, as the brothers have been described by family and friends as charismatic, confident, and polite young men. Lyle Menendez is identifiable as a 6'2", 21-year-old Cuban-American man, and Eric Menendez can be identified as a 6', 18-year-old Cuban-American man. Any information regarding their guilt or innocence can be directed to law enforcement at the Beverly Hills Police Department. The Menendez brothers are facing 2 charges each of murder in the first degree. According to the California Penal Code, first-degree murder is defined as a killing where the defendants acted willfully, deliberately, and with premeditation. The requirement of willfulness is satisfied if the defendant or defendants intended to kill. The standard of deliberation is met if the defendant or defendants carefully weighed the considerations for and against the choice to kill, and while aware of the consequences, still decided to kill. Lastly, the law defines premeditation as reaching the decision to kill before committing the act that caused death. To determine premeditation, the law does not consider the length of time spent reaching the decision. A cold, calculated decision to kill can be reached quickly, according to the law. The true test of premeditation is the extent and existence of the reflection, not the duration of time. Now for the modus operandi of the brothers. They jointly participated in the killings. They both fired weapons at the victims. The victims, Jose and Mary Kitty Menendez, were brutally murdered with shotguns inside their own home during a single incident. The shotguns were purchased from a gun store using identification allegedly stolen from Lyle's roommate. There was an immediate attempt to stage the crime as an external attack. Right after the attack, Lyle called 911 and reported that someone had shot and killed their parents. Lyle told police he and his brother had gone to see a movie and returned home to find their parents dead. The brothers made an active effort to create an alibi for themselves. They went out the night of the killings and made it a point to be seen by others in order to strengthen their alibi. Early speculation included organized crime due to Jose Menendez's high status, wealth, and international ties. The initial misdirection from the brothers influenced the investigative process at first. The brothers engaged in extensive spending following the murders. They purchased luxury items, rented expensive accommodations, and invested in multiple business ventures. They spent over $1 million within the year following the crime. This, combined with the knowledge of their inheritance, drew suspicion from investigators. Together, these actions reflect a pattern of coordinated execution and a possible financial motive. Eric confessed of the murders to Dr. Jerome Oziel, a psychologist that had been seeing both of the brothers for years. After learning of the confession, Lyle was initially angered and fearful that the doctor might report their guilt to the authorities. Despite this, the brothers both agreed to continue to meet for sessions with Dr. Oziel, who recorded their conversations. During these sessions, they stated they killed their father because he controlled them and was immoral, and they killed their mother because she was depressed and was unable to live without her husband. Interestingly, the brothers were initially unaware of the recordings, but agreed to continue to meet after Dr. Oziel confessed to recording the sessions. These tapes were later obtained by law enforcement through the use of a judicial warrant after a third party associated with Dr. Oziel alerted investigators to their existence and incriminating potential. These tapes will serve as a key piece of evidence during the eventual trials of Eric and Lyle Menendez. The third party was a romantic partner of Dr. Oziel who had overheard some of their conversations during the sessions. This is a public service warning. While Eric and Lyle Menendez have been apprehended and are no longer a threat to the public, others may be inspired by their actions. They have already gained support from a significant portion of the public eye, possibly sparking dangerous protest. Other potential offenders may also be motivated by the fame of this case. We advise parents to stay vigilant and have healthy, productive talks and relationships with their children. Citizens can report any witness suspicious activity in other familial environments to law enforcement. Thank you for listening to this presentation.